It's such a good point. Like even David says, "Well, I don't want to offer a sacrifice that doesn't cost me
Cost me
anything." Like
nothing. Yes.
there is something about I need to put some skin in this game so that as soon as I'm charged, as soon as I find the money, I put it in. I'm now the transformation begins once the transaction has happened. Like
Yes.
okay, right? I haven't even gone to the first class, but I'm a different person because I signed up for this thing and I paid my money. So I'm on the road. Even before I learned the first lesson, I'm on the road.
I just think, well, I don't know why again, and this is just my personal opinion. The idea of monetizing your ministry is needed because not because there's ministry needs. You didn't start this podcast to just inspire people to ministry, right? That is definitely an aspect of this. But there's also a psychological piece to this and a socialization piece to this where you have some people who have something to offer and people will never place value on it because they will not put any value on it. And they need to be convinced that until you place a value on it, prime example, we just built this church. If this church were to be built, there had to be an exchange, man.
Yeah, yeah,
We couldn't just build this for free, right? You can't just. I mean, well, it's ministry. Like
yeah.
nobody's going to give this to us because we're a church. Sometimes I would hear church people say, I mean, I wish these carpenters and these electricians, their ministry, maybe they'll give us a discount. What? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
For what they're providing for us, it is that valuable for us to have electricity. So
Yeah.
we have to pay somebody to wire this place. In the same respect, there's a husband out there who wants to be a better husband. And in order for him to be a better husband, he has to make an exchange in order for him to value the fact that him being a husband to his family is that important that I'm willing to make an exchange for it. And I just feel like it's unfair that they do this to ministry, right? And they won't do this to anything else. Nobody else out there, Kimona, you know I'm telling the truth. I might be going off on a tangent. But a lot of times church people, and I want to encourage somebody right now, do not allow church people who exchange value on a regular basis for stuff. And some stuff is that has no eternal value whatsoever. People waste money on a regular basis. You know that, and I know that, especially in the United States. And then when somebody is actually trying to make an impact in their life, you don't want them to provide any value to it or to make an exchange. It's unfair because we're allowing people's opinion and prejudice about seeing people in ministry get ahead prevent us from doing the thing that God has told us to do.
That's
And
good.
honestly, now we can do more, Kimon. We just had our second men's conference, and because our finances were in a better place, because we actually did charge for services, we were able to bring in income, and that income allowed us to reach more men.
That's right. That's right. And I'm glad you mentioned the conference because I wanted to go there. So this is our second annual. I'm glad you say it that way. It's our second annual, which means we're continuing to do it, and we will continue to do that. And we had a meeting today, and I said to you, the first one was important to have it, right? But the second one is almost as or more important than the first one because it tells people, oh, they're not a fly by night. They're not just going to, stop, do something, blow up, and stop. We kept doing it, but we more than doubled. And I heard your math. We might have almost been close to tripling our attendance last year. And just talk to us about this conference because, right, churches host conferences, religious organizations host conferences. But here it is now, you're in a space where you're hosting a conference. What's different about it? Tell us about, as someone thinking about monetizing their thing, why would you do something that a religious organization might already been doing? And what's different about what you're doing?
Because God has called you to do something unique. And when a religious organization or a church does something, or a body of people, what they're doing has value. But it comes from an ethos. It comes from a perspective that is representative of that unique body or organization. And that has a place. But there's also something that God wants you to do. And you and I both discovered this weekend, that what the space that we provided for men we would not have had the freedom to help the men the way that we know we can help men the way that we know is effective to help men had we attached this to a certain religious organization. There would have been constraints. There would have been red tape that we would have had to overcome just so that we could have the experience that we had. And then there would have been a considerable amount of criticism, possibly at the way we did it. And I just want to free somebody right now, because there are those of you out there, you're trying too hard to placate to other people to give them permission to do something that God has called you to do. I even think of the Apostle Paul. The Apostle Paul literally had to monetize himself because he did not, by being a tent maker, because he did not want to have the constraints of the church upon him to prevent him from going across the world and creating Christians. That was really why you read the scriptures. He was like, look, I didn't want to have anybody, and I'm paraphrasing, I didn't want to have anybody to say this or that. So he said, I went out and made tents myself so that I could do this ministry and not have to worry about you imposing your values upon what I'm trying to do. And you and I both know that the Apostle Paul was highly criticized